Buttons are depressed.
Sad button.
And I have a menace with me.
Alrighty, cut on the set.
All right. Quiet on the set. You're listening to WRFB Radio Free Britannia. And this is Lunch, coming to you live from Deltona, Florida. Here are the dynamic duo themselves, Laz and Jack. Greetings, everybody. This is Les.
And this is Jack. Welcome to another exciting edition of Lunch with Laz and Jack, where I haven't opened up the giveaways on my stream yet, so I'm doing that right now.
That helps.
So, there. Giveaways are open on my stream. Pound Boutte for the Steam Key giveaway and exclamation mark I love free exclamation mark I love free shit for the Steam Key giveaway on Laz's stream, and exclamation mark bundle me on both streams for chance to win a streamer bundle, because today is, what day of the week is it?
Super Tuesday.
Oh yes, and that was a furry tentacle because Tyrion said pet me a lot.
So welcome to today's show, boys and girls. Again, it is 2 for Tuesday, June 18th, 2024, here inside and outside Shroud of the Avatar. And if we remember, especially Jack, will be pulling 2 streamer bundles at the bottom and top of the hour. Otherwise, Jack's pulling 1 at the bottom of the hour and 3 at the top of the hour.
3 at the top. Yes. And then we do have Tyrion here.
And then we have the kitties.
Yes, and floating clumps of hair.
Where is Miss Lily today?
She is napping in her bed.
Oh, okay.
She is completely out.
She says, screw this noise, I'm taking a nap.
She is in the cat-like coma.
Not a
very coma. Yes. So I've got the furry tentacle attack.
Now we have news, we have updates, we have, of course, people making the wrong decisions. We have patch notes. We want to start with the patch notes, or we want to start
thinking patch notes.
with the post first before we get to the patch notes.
Let's start off with the post, because hand it off. I mean, we do have to give some applause.
Why don't we
Some applause.
Why don't we start off with the Kellogg's?
Because there were announcements in the forums, Facebook, and Twitter on the official channels. So
For the
the
first
official
time, and God knows how long.
Yeah. So kudos, applause, because the official Facebook post got it, the Twitter for @ShroudOfAvatar got it, and then the forum post yesterday, near the end of the show, where about the end user license agreement and terms of service acknowledgement screens at time of game login. And players are currently being prompted to acknowledge the TOS and EULA every time they log in due to the annual updating of the authentication server's security certificate, the SSL certificate. Ooh. This is caused by the presence of the old and new certificate on the website and the web client not having the new cert in place yet.
Just out of curiosity, I don't know about you, but I don't have an annual certification. I have a certificate. The certificate stays active the whole time. I never have to update it year in and year out. Why do they have to do this?
Well, so within SSL certificates, they're standard certificate lifetimes: 1 year, 3 years, 10 years. So the other companies like Let's Encrypt will do one for like every 30 days and consistently rotate it. Now, the fun part is you generally renew that thing way in advance. And didn't we just have a release a couple of weeks ago?
We did.
And if they had it on both the old certificate and the new web certificate on the website, unless they held off onto the last minute to renew the certificate. Yeah, and purchase certs are usually a year now. So yes. So if they waited until the last minute, that's where you would have, yes, 3 months for Let's Encrypt. I thought it was 30 days. I don't know. 30 days or 3 months. Pretty damn frequently though, but it's a free certificate. But yeah, the game certificate for the login server, annual. But they are currently building a patch to update the client. The patch should be ready for deployment today around 10 p.m. So it takes them 9 hours to patch something and deploy it. I think it's because day jobs get in the way. But that should also mean that there should be patch notes.
There are.
For build number 1721, which came out at 10:05 p.m., where it updated the certificates to stop the EULA and TOS prompt loop. Ooh, you may need to accept again once more on the new build. But applause to the team for notifying the Facebook's official page, the Tweeterverse, as well as the forum post. So those three places were all updated with the information.
Yeah, I'm just
Now,
checking. Last time I had to change anything on mine was 4 years ago. But again, that's Cloudflare. I don't know why they don't.
Well, I
don't know why they don't use Cloudflare to, make sure that they don't have any of these problems. But
Now, are you looking at the NBNN.info page?
Yes, as well as the WRFB page.
Let's see. Certificate is valid. Details.
I didn't go to the page. I went to Cloudflare itself.
Yeah, so it doesn't actually have any real information on your thing. Not before 6/14/2024 and not after 9/12/2024. So you've got a 3-month certificate that's being rotated through there.
Certificate is valid.
Yeah, but you have to go expand the
Yeah.
validity. So your certificate's automatically being rotated. For
Rotated
you.
every, yeah. I don't know why they don't use the Cloudflare and just, again.
Well, I mean, the key rotation. So obviously the game client is looking at a hash of the certificate to verify it. So as you rotate
I
it, you would
don't
actually
know
have to
about
update the
that,
hash
Tina.
every single time.
I've been using Cloudflare for about, like I said, 4
Yeah.
years now, and first off, using Let's Encrypt on GoDaddy is almost impossible. You have to do it manually because they don't have an automatic way to do it. And I just
Well,
recently migrated over to DreamHost, and DreamHost tells me that if I want to use that certificate, it's still on order, even though I ordered it like 3 weeks ago.
Well, that's because you haven't moved the DNS over onto it.
Well, the
So it's still
DNS,
pointing to the old location.
the DNS is Cloudflare, of course. That's why, of course.
So that's why the certificate won't be updated.
And of course,
it'd still be on order.
I found that it made it so much easier because as long as the DNS is Cloudflare, I didn't have to worry about migrating everything, and doing all that because Cloudflare just automatically shifts in the background and you don't have to do dick with it. So
Yeah.
Cloudflare has its addressing, and when you do whatever it does, and I moved it from one host to the other host, I didn't have to do anything because the new host already picked up Cloudflare and went, "Oh, I know where you are."
Oh yeah.
So made that nice and easy. So migration was a piece of cake using Cloudflare.
Yay.
Plus free SSLs, so that you don't have to dick with.
Yep.
So anyway, moving right along. As long as they don't hit you with the 100K bill and don't tell you why, hard to do when you have a free account. I mean, now if you don't have a free account and you start charging shit onto the account, that's a different story.
Oh yeah, it's going to be fun shit.
Yeah.
Fun shit.
But let's revisit a story we were talking about yesterday.
The dab and dab a lot.
Yeah.
So remember, we took a trip out to Esther Cove to see that they put a. Do we want to go back out to Esther Cove so that way we can show how silly this is?
Sure. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go to Esther Cove because this is absolutely silly design. Grad math.
Well, again, leave it up to them to pick. In both of our opinions, the wrong merchant.
The wrong thing. The wrong thing, yes. That's where it's absolutely silly. So Dabs has a question about requesting a cooking merchant for Esther Cove. Okay. And if you come over to Esther Cove and you find the cooking table that is right off the main box, the cooking workstations, as well as the butchery station, you will see that the NPC right beside it is an innkeeper. Innkeeper.
Yeah, I don't see an N anywhere nearby. Do you?
Maybe that tent isn't in.
Yes.
You mean the one that's on top of the water that nobody can use?
No, you can get into it. You just have to go into the water.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Again,
they offer
Yes.
water beds.
Yes. But yeah,
I'd like to see you try that on a piece of land and go into water like that. Yeah. Why can they do it and we can't?
Yeah.
Job math.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, yeah, this isn't another bug report related to absolute silliness. But going back to Dabs's Warrior Beat Patrick. Greetings, Dabs. Do you need a cooking merchant like a banker, weapon, or armor match replacement in town, or do you need a player that will craft and sell food and drink? No, it's the merchant. And alley oop coming up with the looking at the overlap between innkeeper and waitress, maybe not a bad idea. Sanyo, what do you think about swapping out the waitress in the PRTs? I really want to say, here's the screenshot. Where's the N? Post picture, copy, image, link, post reply. There you go.
The only thing I can think of is the amount of stuff available would be why. The waitress only offers a handful of stuff compared to what the innkeeper offers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the innkeeper is offering stuff that you should find on a mage, right? An alchemist. Black pearl, corpse wax, garlic, mandrake, nightshade, potions. Let's run up here. Do we have one of those?
Yes, there is a magic merchant up here.
Maybe that one sells in stuff.
Magic reagent merchant.
Yeah. So the
Yeah, and Bridge
the
Troll's like,
innkeeper is the one that's pretty much redundant then. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like kill the innkeeper, replace it with a cooking merchant.
Kill the innkeeper, kill the innkeeper. Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting innkeepers.
Yeah. And Tina's like, if the innkeeper is selling nightshade, possibly consider a different inn.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. But,
You know what,
but do you like how
That's
do you
actually
like how
on
I did?
somebody's property. That is somebody's property.
Are you sure that is actually on somebody's property? Like, where
Almost
is the
positive.
border?
Because this is a town
Okay.
lot, so yeah, I'm gonna
Okay,
guess that this is actually part of this property.
Okay, so yeah, maybe. So they somehow managed to use the excellent shroud placement for things and get it sunken into a little bit of everything. Yes. But they did put some what the hell texture is this?
I love the public vendor.
The water lily?
Yeah, can we get
Did
rid
you
of
know you
these
can
fucking
walk on
public
top of water
vendors
lilies?
finally? Can you?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Did not know that.
But look, I mean, look at this. This is horrific.
I fell through.
No, but like look at the quality of the water lily. I mean, that looks like absolute a mess. And it's like someone puked in the water over here is what it is. Those water lilies might need some work.
I say we ask to get rid of public vendors and make a real fucking auctioneer.
Hey, what do you think the timeline on that is?
Oh, about 20 years.
Yeah, something like that. But you ready
Looks
to go
like
back
mud.
to?
Yeah, so if you guys had the choice, which one would you get rid of? The innkeeper or the waitress? Just curious.
Well, I mean, did you like my post addition to that thread?
I get rid of
With
the innkeeper.
where's the inn?
Yeah, well, let's bring that up.
I mean,
The
why
real
have
question.
why have an innkeeper without an inn?
Well, that's the point.
Yeah,
What happened? Why didn't I? Why
Maybe
did I not
the inn,
recall?
maybe the inn's
Yeah.
in the
Hey, he zealot. He wanted you to catch that hawking of that
Yeah,
loogie.
sorry. Yeah, I do most of the time, but
He forgot the mute button. It's all
maybe
good.
I
the
didn't.
maybe
I
the
didn't even try.
I know.
maybe the maybe
He
the
still
inn
forgot.
maybe the inn is in the water, like stuck in Atlantis.
In a world where variables are hard.
Yep.
Absolutely. Rares are rare. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on this and see what they actually do. We do have a release coming a little over a week from now, so
Oh,
we'll
yes.
see. We shall see.
We shall see
Meanwhile,
what they're actually doing.
yeah.
You didn't like my post, man. I feel disappointed.
No, I don't like anything. Very rarely do I click like, especially when I know it's probably going to get deleted.
Well, I mean, it's we know their history of randomly deleting things is pretty high. Unfortunately,
Timey says, just logging in. I thought the patch was supposed to get rid of the TOS. Well, if you read the patch notes,
it said
you
might
may
come
need
up
to
one more
accept
time.
once more on the new build. You may need to accept once more on the new build, which means you will definitely need to accept once more on the new build.
Yeah. Yes.
Shameless plug. New World still rocks.
Yay. So, you ready to talk about like that stealthy thing?
The stealthy thing? Oh, yes.
The stealthy thing.
Let's, does this one, oops. No, don't
Well,
close.
this is like design questions, really.
Yes. Well, yes
But
and no. Is Conjure Dragon here today? I don't think he is he?
yeah,
He'll show
Conjurer
up
Dragon
just as soon as we finish talking about it.
has a question about going out of stealth. When the avatar is under the influence of shadow form or silent movement, he can walk or run, but doing anything else will drop the stealth. Today, I was running through a dangerous, to me, part of Grusk stealth and wanted to mine a copper node on the way. I moved the mouse over the node and clicked E to mine it. The game unstealthed the avatar immediately, and then it began to slowly walk towards the copper node to mine it. Problem, walking does not end stealth, so walking towards a node ought to not drop stealth either. Only when the avatar is next to the node and starts swinging the pickaxe should the stealth be dropped. Currently, especially in danger zones, one would have to manually move very close to the node and only hit E on the node to not drop stealth prematurely and slowly walk away to be visibly to the node.
Yes.
Duke Gregor's like, mining is not part of stealth. The mining walk is all mining, not walking. When I walk stealth closer to the node and then I hit eat on the node, I am stealth until the avatar swings the pickaxe. The current game currently draws the line not on walking to mining, but on the moment the E key or the mouse double click selects the node, even if the avatar still has some steps to walk there. What you described just sounds like there's a bug that should be removed. Allie with no, you had it right the first time. The mining task includes the walking to the node if you're not close enough. You and stealth when you start the mining task. What?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But Shroud math.
Stealth is not
This is the
part
bug I
of
was
stealth
talking about.
either. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, stealth is not part of stealth either. Absolutely. This is the bug I was talking about when I walk stealth closer to the node, then hit E on the node. I am stealth until the avatar swings the pickaxe. Stealth abound of not happening at all. Mining walk should never be stealth. As Alley-oop said, the mining task includes... See, this is the problem with using your non-official account. Official answer from dev team member on non-account requires multiple explanations, right?
Well, she does have the title bug moderator, so, you know.
That doesn't matter.
Well, doesn't matter that nobody's paid to do this either, does it? But yeah.
Well, that too. I'm waiting for people to start bug reporting that the silent movement doesn't work in the stealth dungeon again. And bring that up every single time, like every single release. For them to sit there and say, it doesn't actually use the stealth mechanic, it's conversation avoidance. Yes, the avoid conversation dungeon. Mining should never be stealth. How should the game know the latter? I walk stealth towards an iron node. I could now press E when standing a few meters away. As soon as the cursor is green, which hovers to the node, and so unstealth and walk the last few meters in the open to mine, or I could walk stealth right up to the node, practically standing on top of it, then hitting the E. Unstealth only for mining, not for walking. The game, however, has no way to know at a few meters away from a node if I'm going to mine it or not, so the mining walk could not always be stealth as you proposed. As long as I manually walk stealth to the node, I will only unstealth when starting the swing the pickaxe. First Molly, honestly, maybe remove the...
First off, apparently Conjure Dragon hasn't gotten to a node and hit E and then had to walk around the node.
No, that's what he's talking about.
No, he's saying that he can walk up to the node, and every time he walks up to the node, it just mines when he's on top of the node. Apparently, he hasn't run into the fact that...
Remember, the entire thing is going out of stealth when it's walking towards the node.
I understand that.
And that walking does not end stealth. So he is aware of the... Hey, we're going to walk 5 miles around a fucking node in order to get to the sweet spot to mine.
Using the orb here as an example, what he's saying is if he's over here and he clicks the node, he unstealths here and then walks over before he starts mining. But what he hasn't happened and said has happened is he's standing on top of the node, he clicks E, and the avatar walks all the way around like this before actually mining the node is what I'm talking about. He's saying that every time he's standing on top of the node, it just automatically mines. He hasn't gotten to a point where you're actually standing on the node and you wind up actually running around in a circle till you get back to the node.
But he's talking about the stealth mechanic
I understand
of
that, but
being
apparently he
right
hasn't
there.
run into the part of when you're standing on a node, you may still walk a half a mile around it before you start mining. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, that is absolutely true. That the shroud targeting relating to mining nodes is absolutely abysmal.
That's what I'm talking about.
And that Tina's like, I read it including that. Yeah, I do as well, because he's talking about the walking process moving you out of stealth, which it really shouldn't, but as designed would be the answer.
There's Mally.
Yeah, because Burrs Mally coming back. Honestly, maybe remove the mining walk entirely. I'd say around half the time I end up triggering it.
There
My
it
character
is.
just wanders around for a bit
Yeah.
and gives up. The skinning and gathering versions are usually fine, but the pathing for the mining version is clueless. I mean, all of it's horrid. I agree. I would prefer a message in chat that said I wasn't close enough to the node. Yes. Shroud targeting and Shroud math and Shroud weirdness. But who in the dev team could actually work on this? Dun dun
Nobody.
dun. Nobody. What's that song from? Oh, I remember. It's the song from Spaceballs.
Well, I don't know. I think it's older than Spaceballs.
No, but the parody version.
Oh, well.
Uh,
But you know what time it
is?
is?
That's what I was thinking of. It's time for us to not pull one, but two streamer bundles. And I get to sit there and trade people on the lot. Mud Nerd and
Azorian,
Lomir.
Dufresne, and the Maynard. Congratulations.
If this would ever open my box. There you go, Maynard. Here, we'll just do it the easy way. We'll grab a handful and put it in our inventory. I'm waiting for Munnerd to accept before I trade you. Dun, 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 dun.
Why the hell can I target this fucking...
I
My
don't
mouse
know.
is being picky today.
Here, we're going to do it this way since Lomir's standing up. We'll cancel that and we'll reopen Munnerd's after we get that one taken care of.
Thank you.
Maynard, accept your streamer bundle.
Is he even there?
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm mailing it.
Yeah, he is there now. He is there now.
Oh, come get it, Maynard.
Otherwise,
There
they
he
give
is.
you. Otherwise,
There you go.
Oh.
Alrighty.
Yeah. I shouldn't be on this thread. Why are you including me? Mm-hmm.
All right, moving right along. Let's see what else we've got for today's.
Okay.
Okay, we got that one taken care of. So we've got the
Oh,
Air
boy,
Mage.
yes.
We've got water debuffs. We've got brass dark
Yeah.
lamp, or we've got camping. What do you want to talk about?
Oh, I don't have some of those open, but let's go with the debuffs. I thought we covered the debuffs,
Go with camping then.
water debuffs.
We may have.
I don't have. Yeah, I think we covered the water debuffs and not stacking like fire does.
Yeah, I think we did. You're right.
Yes, we did. So let's go with the next one that I actually have, which is the air mage, because that's got 2 pages. And for the rebalance, remember, what's the estimated timeline for them to get to the rebalance for skills, combat skills?
There is none.
There is none because they're thinking it's probably going to take over a year. Now, remember, when it gets time for them to collect data related to these skills, they will probably do it the same way that they're doing it for the crafting, which means that they will individually grab everything and put it into a spreadsheet by verifying the game data itself. So they will be standing at a target and set the skill at 1 and attack the target and then write down the result. And then do 2 and then write down the result. And go all the way through all 200 things. And then they will end up with that spreadsheet of like the how the skill progresses through everything.
I think you're giving them too much credit.
Oh. Yes.
Jack, is your giveaway reopened?
Oh, no, it's not. Thank you for that. But it is now. As soon as I click this button that says create and then the announce button. There it is. There it is. Yes. Thank you for that, Lomir.
No problem.
But Rosmally says
I charge senior bundles for my services.
just something you might want to think about. Having an entire specialization being told thanks but no thanks when it comes to groups is kind of garbage. This is mostly an issue in higher tier zones against beefy mobs, as air mages cause stun with every damaging attack they can use, and inflicting a quarter-second stun is sufficient to cause beefy mobs to reveal that they are secretly Terminators sent back in time to eliminate the party. I don't get it. The bladed weapons tree has the skill that specifically trivializes the end of a fight where air mages get all the skills saddled with an undocumented get stuff die roll once hard fights enter the terminal phase. Then who is still even using air at this point? I've been in dozens of groups in the last few weeks, and I am still seeing Rings of Fire drop constantly. Same as when I played last year and the time before that. Pets are still doing the majority of the damage. The only air skill I see with any regularity is Gust, as I'm guessing that it must not provoke Terminators to reveal themselves.
I don't ever see anybody using any air skills, to tell you the truth, but again, I don't get out often, but
yeah. So, it is. I don't see as much fire as I do. I see a lot more air than I do fire, especially on the airship. Where yes, they use Gust, so that way they're not targeting. They also will use air shield and chain lightning and all kinds of other shit. But it is one where.
Hey, I gotta get going. I have a doctor's appointment. I'll talk to you guys later.
Be safe.
If I win anything, hold on to me until tomorrow.
Dabs, who was just in an airship group, is like going, air is used fucking all the time, especially with lightning, chain lightning, discharge.
Where are you getting
and
dabs?
meteor strike? Dabs a lot, 420. in chat.
In chat.
In Gust. Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't see that.
Yes. Yes. And if Dabs just joined, I hope you paid attention that I added a nice visual for your dabbing a lot, your forum post. Like, where's the inn for that innkeeper? But yes. Who is still even using air at this point? Get in the right kind of group. Go to the airship and you'll see people using air specialization for everything out there. Because someone I know has over 180 air spec, I believe. Pets are still doing all the damage, yes. Tirag coming back with, I primarily use Storm and Chain as my damages, but also use Atonal from Bard. Combining with Barding, I'm just used to having the hate on me all the time. I have 2 different defensive strategies depending on where I'm at. Most of the time is the standard light air shield type defense. Foods, pots, buffs to help regen the air shield. Plus, I make significant use of etheric feedback window of opportunity regen boost. In certain areas, though, I have a heavy armor deck where I use it earth shield, heavy armor defense skills, and fizzle jewels. When I'm allowed to use my air skills in group, I'm usually close, if not the top damager in the group. And don't forget, there is someone with an air elemental that does identify as a snarler. And that thing is generally also in the top DPS. Generally. If there are large amounts of mobs, that is, my decks are set up to work over groups of mobs for single targets. My DPS is a bit lower. I'm usually handicapped in certain places like the Breach, where the only crowd control strategy that group leaders seem to like is Bludgeon or Body Slam, so I just switched to Barding, Atonal, Stagnation, and Melody of Mending, and Puncturing those groups. Yes, so I can confirm, although Puncture is in the Polearm tree, not the Bludgeon tree. There is at least one air mage out there that uses more than Gust during regular gameplay. Yes.
One.
Genie UK. Yes, Genie is the man. And I believe Genie does have 180 something air specialization. If I remember correctly, or is 170, or it's fucking ungodly. That's all I know. That's the same experience I've had in the Breach. Spamming Chain Lightning can do a bunch of damage, makes me somewhat useful, but it's too risky for triggering Terminators. When you're using a massive AoE spell, yes, you can expect to trigger all kinds of ads. Yes. So I get relegated to the press and hold crew too, so air isn't too bad. Yet sometimes roll bad and a troll or other mini-boss mob goes Terminator and kills you. But I have to assume that's by design. Hey, try barding with a Melody of Mending as the aggro generator. Oh man, because that will.
Yeah, well, barding for aggro.
Yes,
if you
barding
can
is
cast
awesome
in
for
time.
aggro. And the fun part is, like, for me, when I'm barding in a group, I'm using Savage Sonata and then also the Anthem of Alacrity. So Anthem of Alacrity is going to give everybody, like, if I've got the full stack on there, 30% plus of attack speed. Who doesn't want to kill shit faster? And then Savage Sonata is going to increase other stats and as well as crits. So just massive damage output. So those are the two that I focus on for barding in a group. Yes. The Bard Tamer and hit the auto kick-ass button. Yes. And if you're soloing, just get Bludgeon and hammer shit to death. And then Cora, have I not been paying attention as much as the release notes as I thought? No.
Yeah,
Very
well,
good. When mobs recover
she's
from the stun,
referring
they
to triggering Terminators. She's thinking she missed Terminators is what the joke is
and
there.
Modi's actually calling me useful in a group. What is this? No, I am just a leech. I am useless. I just randomly die. I mean, it's like just randomly just fall over dead.
Well, yes, that makes you useful as
Yes,
as
I am assisting people and getting GM res.
You are bait. Yes.
Yes. That dies in 1 or 2 hits.
Yeah, also good for res gains. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Meat shield. There you go, Tina.
Yeah. Although I'm not shielding anything. When mobs recover from a stun, they no longer in combat mode for a short time, which allows them to regenerate some health. The higher tier mob, the more health they regenerate. I personally consider this a bug and something that I truly believe the devs should address as part of their rebalancing. I use air, but only to support ranged. Hey, if the devs can't be bothered to give a modal describe a description, the modal a description and image, I'll give it one myself. The condition gives the mob plus 200% move speed, plus 50% base damage, and plus 100 attack speed with no downside. The mob secretly being a Terminator makes the most sense. If it were a Berserk status, I'd expect a reduction in accuracy or defense, but not if they are secretly a Terminator. I mean, I'm not saying they didn't, just that I'm getting lazier and only skimming the notes, or is this a bug? Alley-oop! This sounds like they're enraged, and it has nothing to do with air. It's actually the debuff icon isn't showing. Please bug report specific mobs. Release 51, Rage Effects. A number of rage effects have been added for boss types, including Obsidian Kabbalist. You mean we're not displaying all the buffs? Yeah, those things are broken all the time. Yes. Are we doing anything special for Juneteenth? No, I have to work.
You mean that made-up holiday?
No, it is a fantastic holiday if you're a Texan, because remember, I am a Texan. So in 2 years after the Civil War ended, a boat landed in Galveston Island to announce to Texas that slavery was ended. That is the Juneteenth holiday. So for years, it was only celebrated in Texas, especially in Galveston. Now it's a national holiday for something. But yes,
and not for those reasons.
What?
And not for those reasons.
What are you talking about? What reasons is it a holiday? It's the same thing.
I guarantee if you look it up, it's not going to mention that it was Galveston.
Come on, June 10th. Wikipedia. Historical legacy.
Our country's second Independence Day.
What?
National Museum of African American History and Culture.
It is celebrated annually on June 19th to commemorate the ending of slavery. The holiday's name is portmanteau of June 19th. When Major General Gordon Granger ordered the final enforcement of the Emancipation Proclamation in Texas at the end of the American Civil War.
Here we go. Juneteenth is an often overlooked event in our nation's history. Yeah. Union troops freed enslaved African Americans in Galveston Bay. Yeah, 3 or 4. But that is not the reason for celebrating, apparently. Officially,
So remember, June 19th,
Juneteenth is
1865.
National Independence Day, which is bullshit. Yeah.
Hey, freeing of the slaves well after, actually, so it was 2 months after the end of the Civil War, not 2 years. Or a month after the end of the Civil War.
Yeah.
But the Emancipation Proclamation was from 1863. So 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation was done.
Answer: no.
Hey, in Texas holiday. I'm a Texan.
Are you going to read Dark Star's posting?
Dark Star has a post?
Did you?
Why would I read Dark Star's post?
Because it explains the Terminator effect.
Oh, I'm going back to that.
Oh, yeah. You just jumped right over that. R51, and then you stopped.
Rage effects. A number of rage effects have been added for the boss types, including Obsidian Kabbalist. These are effects that usually trigger at around half to a quarter health. Larger bosses can trigger 2 or more effects of different health levels. So stay on your foes when fighting big opponents in Release 51. I'm not familiar with these effects.
That's because,
or of course, I haven't paid enough attention to them.
Yeah, that's because they don't show properly as buffs.
Oh, yeah. And Adam Crow with, are you using wands or a staff? It's pretty effective against a lot of high-end mobs, but I use air as my primary damage. Aren't you ranged? Oh, ha 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 ha. I had forgotten about the Release 51. I thought maybe there was some new mechanic I missed. Was it given to more mobs, though? I don't recall encountering it super often outside of trolls and Kabbalists, but I could be misremembering. Burzmally going on with, I am the most loathed of classes in Air Ranger. Damage isn't bad. It is fine against most mobs, but just triggers Terminator, so it is a liability against mini-boss mobs that can't be rushed down as quickly when they reveal their nature. Yeah. Dabs loves 420. I mean, Air Rangers. So still, yeah, yes, yes, yes. That you're celebrating the fact that Texas is so ass backwards about a bunch of things that it took them years to recognize the Emancipation Proclamation to then months after the Civil War ended for them to all be notified that slavery was officially ended and that the South did indeed lose the war. Yes. Yes. The icon never shows, just a translucent black box that rotates like the normal icon timing out. Hovering over gives those stats, but no name. Shroud math design. Does stunning not triggered as well? That seems to be the consensus in game. Oh, that sounds like a Yui bug. It's not that you are loathed. Like all builds in the games, if you don't go all out in one damage type, you won't be as powerful. If you're going ranged, you should concentrate on your ranged attack. Air works awesome on its own, but you shouldn't expect the stuns and damage to be that great if you're using a bow. In your case, I would use Gust more for stunning and probably cut down on the lightning spells. When I'm doing the Air Ranger thing, I don't use my lightning, mostly use air to stun with Gust so I can get behind and unleash rapid fire. Yes.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Okay, I need to have both utility and damage since I'm not taking the Pokemon Masters path. I have to be able to deal damage fast enough to all enemy types. I'm come to terms with never being able to defeat skeletons in any area near my tier, but plenty of enemies just have too much physical defense for range to take down, or too much air or magic defense for air to take down. I've pumped air attunement over 250, and I'm finally starting to do consistent damage and stuns, and I can't scale range like that, so while ranged is great for sieges and maps at tier 10 and lower, if I want to adventure at 12 and up, air is more consistent. I could respec into fire to get more. Why are you worried about damage? Like, keep the shit stunned, because you can stun lock mobs and break them down over time. Yeah, and Justice is like, can you not have a jack of all trades character, one that does everything? Yes, that's all of them. Oh, and Dab's actually reminding me the pugilism skill.
Pugilism.
Because pugilism that's not supposed to be happening. Okay. Yes, Tyrion, how you doing? Pugilism will add that stun onto Gust as well. So yes. Since Gust is effective and air, I'm assuming next rebalance will nerf it to useless, so I'm trying not to rely on it too heavily. They aren't rebalancing shit for combat for 2 years, man. I call Air Ranger the most lowest class because it is one of the best builds for a glass cannon, which the devs have been trying to stomp out since around release 10 or whenever they introduced TK for mobs. Look at the top level potion and imbued gem recipes for air, because you can only get them grinding Well of Elder. No one does, meaning the imbued gem recipe goes around for 5 to 10 times as much as any other, and the mastery isn't available for any price. Aside from the Wyvern area, no one seems to like the well. I would actually blame that on shitty level design and shitty XP. If you look at why everybody's on the airship, it's not because of the fucking loot, that's for sure. It would be for the XP attunement, and you don't have to move very far above decks into the captain's quarters, below decks, and you stay on the deck.
On the deck. And
then you can attune. Or if you're really looking for a crap ton of loot, that can, and where you can also get attunement as well. If you're really looking for loot, you go to the breach because of all the boss mobs dropping fuck tons of artifacts. But yes. And I can solo some of those bosses in the breach, or the mini bosses in the breach, so which makes it nice for me. Look at so though none of that is really the point. Air attacks appear to provoke rage with a higher chance than other skill trees. No, try barding, dude. Try barding and just cast Melody of Mending at tier 1. Or atonal aria, and compare the hate that you generate. Go to the airship, have level 1 atonal aria, and cast that fucker and watch how frequently you die because you've generated that much hate. Yes. So then you compare that to say lightning.
We're going to have to compare it all to
the close of the day.
Yes.
But I'm thinking that Burzmali may need to revisit his build and his playstyle with his mage. But I'm giving a streamer bundle to the Savage Furry and Solipsistic Lemur, and I forgot your name in game. So solipsistic.
Alistair, isn't it?
Alistair Cregan. Yeah. Is it? Is it? Is it? I thought I grabbed streamer bundles earlier.
We've got Lomir Idane. Num, 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 num. And the Menard. Congratulations, Maynard.
Okay.
So Lomir and Maynard are the winners. Maynard, come on over and grab yourself a streamer bundle.
Do you see where Fluffy is on the lot? Top of the post?
Yes, he's standing on the mailbox.
On top of the post? On top of the fence post?
I see him on the mailbox. Is he on the post? I don't know. Let me see.
Yeah, he's on the post for the fence, not the mailbox.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Now he's on the ground. Damn. Okay. I hope it's Alistair that I'm sending for solipsistic, because that's who we got sent to. But we're picking a winner for the Steam key. And Lomir, are you in chat today? No, you are no longer in chat because he left.
On to
which means we're sending a Steam key to Pitches Be Treble. And we are sitting Pitches Be Treble. What?
Sanscaria. Oh, Pitches Be Treble. Be Pitches
key.
Be Treble. Yeah. Never mind.
But that's
never mind.
Whisper,
yes. Closing the final giveaway, and the Maynard, congratulations. You are going to get yourself a copy of, what are you getting? Cook, Serve, Delicious. Cook,
but
Serve,
Pitches is getting
Delicious.
a copy of River City Girls 0. Never heard of that game, so let's see what that one's worth. River City.
And Cook Serve
Girls.
Delicious is $12.99 going out to Maynard.
$15
So congratulations
for River City Girls 0. Excellent. But it's time for Laz and myself to get out of here.
Yes, it is. Time for us to wrap things up.
We're doing.
And we will be back with you all here again tomorrow, right here on NBNN. Till then, I'm Laz.
I'm Jack.
And we are NBNN. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye-bye.